So my name is Robert Tangway. I do respectfully object. I'd like to have 5 minutes. That's what I asked for. Other people have gotten more time.
No, sir, they will not get more time. It is my committee. I say 3 minutes. You will get 3 minutes, so let's not waste your time and proceed. Thank you.
Okay. I want to deal with this. I oppose this bill as written. I want to deal with this on a bunch of different levels. I could tell you about my nightmare on Elm Street, where I lived above a bar. To counteract Ms. Kruger's testimony, where she brings up that she sees, without any statistics, that there's all these parental alienation will cause litigation, and they often use it as the perpetrator. However, we have found out what's called I call it the silver bullet, but it's a silver bullet, where false allegations are used in an unconstitutional, which 173B is completely facially unconstitutional by Article 15, to gain strategic advantage in parenting matters. So the bill has some good ideas. Parental alienation exists. I'm currently suing the lawyer, the opposing counsel, and also the mother, the Manchester Police, and soon to be the state of New Hampshire, along with the Supreme Court. You don't have any appellate rights because they have a contract with the courts, and that's signed by Diane Martin, I believe. But they have an agreement. So with the Supreme Court, so when you go to the Supreme Court, you're actually interacting with the party that runs the family court. Further, there's an opportunity notice which trains police, prosecutors, and also judges to only protect women. So what we're finding is that the court system in the state of New Hampshire is extremely biased because the actual number of women who get awarded child support is 86.4% from the state. How does that happen? Because women are given the children most of the time, and they initiate most divorces. The way this needs to be done, parental alienation needs to be a criminal statute. And then, so I recommend that you guys refer this to the criminal committee after doing a little bit of research. And you also have to strike out 173B. It's mentioned on number 4. And
You have 30 seconds, sir.
I object to that. I have 5 minutes, which I've asked for. Anyway, so, and then also K, it says 173B. It's unconstitutional facially. Now, the Supreme Court's hiding that it's unconstitutional and they're not taking any cases. You could also ask me questions. You guys asked a lot of questions of other people, and I also move Ms. Rice. I can fill in for the expert.
Thank you for your testimony, sir. Does anybody on the committee have any questions for Mr. Tangway? Seeing none, thank you so much for your testimony, sir. You are excused.
Excused. I would like to make one.
Please feel free to email your testimony and any further comments you may have. Thank you, sir. I'm asking you to stand down because nobody has a question for you, sir. I can't force anybody to do that. Please step down from the testimony desk, sir, or I will call security. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time. The next card I have is Robert Tangway. Thank you again for coming back, Mr. Tangway. You have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon. So there's a couple little notes. I think the purpose of this bill is because we can't get an answer. Are they administrative law judges or are they real judges? And there's two schools of thought. One, I believe that they're constitutional judges, but they have to follow the Constitution. 73A is fraudulent. That constitutional amendment on the ballot, I have the ballot, original ballot, rules to the force and effect of law was added and was not on the ballot. So the Supreme Court creates court rules, which they are considering law, which is what the family court is, the superior court, the rules of evidence. It's all a big scam. You might want to also look at a very famous case called Sweezy versus New Hampshire, where it was remanded. And we have 5 Supreme Court justices that are all Republicans. And that's the same with the Attorney General, where he's prosecuted. It's a famous case. The state Supreme Court got it wrong. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled and sent it back. They were trying to get this guy to testify. And that's the same situation we have right now. Now, bonds. So I am in support and not support of this bill. So bonds are under Chapter 93B1A, and all court officials have to have a blanket undertaking. They don't have one. So and that's how you can sue a judge, I would assert, is you can sue a judge because they're supposed to have a bond. You sue their bond, and that's currently happening. There's also a very relevant case law called SEC versus Jarsky from the Supreme Court that says the SEC's administrative procedures, you need a jury. And that's the U.S. Supreme Court, and that came out while this committee was in session. So about that, what they're trying to do, if you have some questions, I can slow down, but what they're trying to do is get these to admit that these are administrative law judges. You can sue administrative law judges. So we're having problems with the family court. The judges are lying, or whatever you call them, whatever they are. They're lying in their narrative orders, and people are frustrated about it. So 73A, I can answer questions. Bonds, I can answer questions. SEC versus Joshki, I can answer questions. Are there any questions?
Any questions?
Come on, guys. Throw me a lifeline. I know about this stuff.
I see none. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Thank you for
Maybe
your
next time.
testimony.
Thank you.
As noted, Mr. Tangway, you have 3 minutes.
Hopefully
I'll wait
we'll
till you're ready.
garner some questions with this one.
Thank you.
Robert Tangway, I'm author of New Hampshire Oliver Twist. I don't have time to go through my story, but anyone could ask me questions because I've gone through it and I'm still going through it. I got mixed feelings about this bill. One of the recommendations I can have on this bill is it's really easy. If you want to make a bill pass, call it something. The Uniform Support Act of, I believe, 1956 is the underlying issue or law, controlling law. And it's 546A:1 and 5. So the state can't go after you. It says you have to prove that the child is in need. That's A1. A5 says assets shall be considered. We need 546A:5 specifically on this bill. The judge, in my case, ignored it. The mother is from a wealthy, semi-wealthy family, just sold the house and profited hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I know where my kids are because I'm suing them. Well, not my kids, but her. But she just took my kids against court orders and having a wonderful life. So assets shall be considered. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to create equal living situations. That's the way I see it. When child support first came out, it was for absent fathers or parents, absent parents. We're manufacturing absent parents and through violation of the Constitution. And we're creating incentive for Title IV-D money because we want it. And then mostly lawyers. Lawyers make all the money. They see everything. They make hundreds of thousands of dollars off of both sides. I know someone who hasn't been to trial paid $100,000 and had to pay $20-something thousand to get DV charges dropped. Just met him randomly, and we're good friends now. Randomly at a restaurant, randomly. That's how prevalent this stuff is. So another case, Citizens United, very famous case. Free speech, money's free speech. Okay, the corporations who funds AYOT, out-of-state money. All these people, out-of-state money. Free speech. You should have a right to buy your kids things, not buy them things. It's free speech. So we're manufacturing an absent parent, lawyers, 311:6, that's their oath. They have to, even if it's adverse to their client, their first duty is to the court. We know this, to the court, under the pains and penalty of perjury. Common law, just a little clarification about common law, case law. That's all it is. All the case law, common law. And then you get into the restatement of torts. So that's what I'm dealing with. I had to look at the restatement of torts, which is a common law torts, because when you sue someone, you have to have a damage, and we don't have many laws for damages. But basically, what someone's doing when they're getting child support is they're suing you for a judgment. It's a judgment.
Thank you, Mr. Tangri. Your
Oh,
time is up.
May I just finish that
Do
one
I
last thought?
see any questions from the committee? I see no questions. Thank you very much for giving us the information. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Representative Georges.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for taking my question. I just want to know, because you talk about the lawyer, where did you find that the lawyer have a problem inside that bill? What's the problem of the lawyer?
What's the problem with the lawyer? Well, I guess a little clarification is that the lawyer, I didn't have a lawyer. The mother had a lawyer. So the lawyer, I'm suing the lawyer because they have a duty to follow the law and advocate for the law. In my case, the law 546A:5 was not considered, and it says shall consider assets. So when I said 311:6 is that we have these lawyers. See, lawyers get money off of having cases, and they want contentious cases. So we have to create a goodie basket large enough to justify someone. Typically, I'm sorry, statistics are women to get awarded child support to file and go through all of it. So that's why we have these large amounts, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. It's a judgment. That's the way the law states it. It's a judgment, and then they collect after it for forever until it's satisfied, and it's without a jury trial. So, and your Article 20, anything over $1,500 jury trial, but there's no jury trials or notice of jury trials. So the lawyers are making all the money. You can ask lawyers who aren't in family law, and they refuse to, or I got out of family law. It's disgusting because it's all about the money. You'll find less families breaking up, and it'd be less contentious if child support wasn't such a big issue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Do you need a follow-up?
Yes. My
Follow-up?
follow-up was just because the lawyer always make money. That's the reason the lawyer they are there, is to make money when she just goes to the cases. But are you think the lawyer going to go over there, they give a privilege for just for the judge or to who?
Well,
I
I
think
think I'm
that's-
trying to construct your question. All New Hampshire judges were lawyers, including all the Supreme Court judges. Only one of the justices Supreme Court was a judge before. So they all make money. I think what you're asking me, are you asking me, do they grant favor to people with lawyers?
Yeah, I just want, because I just can give example, because this is what I have myself. The lawyer, my lawyer didn't really listen to me, even he was my lawyer. But my lawyer gave a privilege to my husband. Even the day the decree of the divorce, I looking for the lawyer. I couldn't find him. I called. He never show up. The office of the lawyer, they never do anything. But I was myself like screwed by the lawyer. That's why did I want to know for you, the lawyer listen to the judge or they listen to how they make money?
So they
Thank
listen
you.
to how they're making money. Lawyers, I think it's called a quid pro quo. Lawyers protect judges, judges protect lawyers, and they protect the police, except for the most egregious accounts, such as dragging a person down the street and saying, "I'm only doing this because you're black," black or gay or anything that we can see. So what they're not seeing is the abuse on fathers. But so they I believe, in my experience, is that lawyers, the only way to get a trial is if both parties have a lawyer, and then the lawyers work together to extract as much money with the financial affidavits as they can from the case. And so that is something that needs to be handled. And there's talk about licensing, having them review it instead of the Bar Association. So Article 91 of the New Hampshire Constitution prohibits any monopolies. Well, that's what lawyers are. They're a monopoly.
Sir, you've gone off the subject of the bill. So I'd like to bring you back to the subject of the calculation of child support.
Certainly.
Are there any more questions? Representative Nelson.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for answering my question. And being the clerk, sometimes I miss some things that people are saying, which is why it's good I have my helper here. But are you saying that you should have a trial and a jury of your peers should decide what your child support award is? Is that what you were saying?
I believe, now the problem is I've looked it up on AI. Yes, I do believe that. And there is a problem though, because so a jury is to protect against a biased judge. And as my earlier testimony, we have biased judges. So I think that we should, and constitutionally, federally, and also state, Article 20, it says the judgment, anything over $1,500, you should. However, what happens if the jury goes, because they have a blank piece of paper and they go, yeah, you have to give $1 million. So, and that's where the judge is supposed to protect. So it's a court of equity. It's complicated. But the thing is with the oath, they're not following the law. And so this law is confusing and gives too much. There really shouldn't be child support. There really shouldn't, except for with absent parents. Someone comes in, has children, leaves, Dust Bowl America, when it all came out, 1930, they're absent. But what they're doing is we're causing fighting because you're saying, hey, you get the child, and then you get false TVs. Well, you're going to get child support. Great, I'll get child support. So jury by trial, yes, but it's complicated.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Representative Rice.
They
Thank
should have
you,
brought water.
Madam Chair. Would you believe that sometimes single moms need that child support to help support the children of the other parent? So are you saying that the other parent should not be financially responsible for their children?
I'm not saying that, and I would believe that the other parent will willfully support that other child. And then when you come and involve assets, like is required by law, a judge shall consider assets. Picture it this way. Bill Gates goes to an island somewhere, has a woman, and has her move in, starts a planned family, because this is how it's happening. Planned family. And then goes, you know what? I don't like you anymore. You're too old. Get out of here. Then he goes, well, you don't have a place to live because you're homeless. So I get the kid and you owe me child support. That's why assets have to be considered. So I think in most cases, they don't need child support. It's only when an absent parent's there. You come to my place, it costs. Every time you split up a family, it costs money to a 3-bedroom house now becomes 2 3-bedroom houses for equal. And that's why we have a housing problem. There's 7,000 divorces a year.
Thank
You're
you
welcome.
for your testimony and opinions. Do I see any further questions? I see none. Thank you very much.
Thank you for asking questions finally.